Hello, Mark Crossfield here. In my hands today, TaylorMade Tour Preferred MC irons. These irons have my initials on them, Mark Crossfield. I didn't know TaylorMade were now dedicating their irons to me. So this is MC Muscle Cavity, I think it's actually standing for, but it's not. It's Mark Crossfield really. Go into your shop and say, have you got those TaylorMade Mark Crossfield irons? Let's give the Tour Preferred MC irons a hit. Speed pockets, Tour Preferred shapes, la-di-da-di-da. Let's check these out. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, TaylorMade, Tour Preferred, Mark Crossfield irons, MC irons. We've got speed pockets, as we see in the slightly chunkier version of these. So from the long irons, 3 iron, I think, down to 7 iron. 8 iron here has no pocket. We have a tiny little kind of drop back cavity. Again, in the longer irons, going more into muscle completely on the shorter irons. We get thin, nice, classic top lines, next to no offset on the 8 iron and hardly any on the 5 iron I've got here. We're going to hit some real balls, my Titleist Pro V1Xs with my GC2 HMT as well. I'll present some data numbers to show you how they compare. Let's give them a hit. Let's try 8 iron first, no pocket. So this is really kind of, I think the short irons are forged and maybe the long irons aren't. Again, the website doesn't really tell me. Let's give that a hit though with the 8 iron. Next to no offset, pretty little shape, nice kind of nickel-y, chromy finish. Everything your Tour Preferred iron should be in theory. I'll hit that well, and that feels very solid, feels very nice. It's a nice, cute little shape. I've not been a massive fan of the Tour Preferred range in the past. I've not liked the length of the head, but this one is definitely a bit more appealing to me. I think for me there are slightly nicer looking irons in this ilk. Let's give this one another hit. Yeah, that feels really nice. So you get less offset, you get the classic lines, you get everything you would want from that kind of better players irons, but in the TaylorMade package. And because it's in a TaylorMade package, you get things like the speed pocket on the bottom. So you get innovation, push forward design, combination of classics through to their design elements. This is a lovely shape. This is definitely going to be, I think, the most appealing to people. Less offset. The CB is a bit chunkier for people. I think if you're in the Tour Preferred range, this one's going to appeal to a lot of people and give you that extra little help that you want at the bottom. I mean, I use big chunky irons now, so this iron just looks hard to hit compared to what I'm using. Let's give it a hit. So speed pocket on the bottom. It's meant to improve, it feels nice to be honest. It's meant to improve the strike all across the face, certainly in the lower areas. Again, you need to go and test that to see if that's going to actually change your game, if that's something you want to buy into. TaylorMade have the data and say it does, which I'm sure it does. Like I say, how much that equates to shots, different story. This is, feels gorgeous. I mean, I've hit that a bit on the low side and toey, and that's still flown pretty well. We'll look at the real numbers shortly. What you need to decide really with this set of clubs, it's so much to do with looks. The performance, I think, between this and many clubs in its ilk, there's a limit to what they can do. Obviously, the speed pocket, they're going to say does loads, which maybe it does. But what that'll actually equate to, like I say, in shots, for me, this is a nice looking TaylorMade branded, so you want to buy into the TaylorMade brand, you want to be Gus here or you want to be Justin Rose, what have you. This is a good option in that bracket. Certainly not always the first company I would go to for this style of club, but when you get to this style of club, there's a limit to what you can actually do with performance, and you can't blame TaylorMade for really trying, obviously, by introducing some new things with the pocket and what have you. So look, the good irons, let's check out some numbers from the GC2 HMT, see how it actually performs. It looks nice. I've seen nicer. That's my opinion. You might prefer this over the ones I prefer the look of, because that is just, you know, it's a preference, isn't it, on appearance. That doesn't mean anything scientifically. You need to get out there and try it and see if that's the look you want to be looking down at when whacking a 5 iron into a tight green. Certainly off the face there, feels as good as anything. Let's check these numbers out. Right guys, numbers time from the TaylorMade Your Preferred Mark Crossfield MC iron. We got again 8 iron at the bottom, 5 iron at the top, 186 with the 5 iron, 154 with the 8 iron. They are healthy numbers. Again, I must have been striking them pretty good. That's pretty much as full out as I'd get with any other club. I'm quite impressed with that. For the truer lofts that are on these clubs, they're not the strongest of lofts. They're more kind of realistic lofts because of the higher launching aspects being taken away from them smaller heads, so they've added loft to try and keep the launch up. It's always a trade-off with clubs. That's where people struggle to understand. If you hit a higher launching iron, I use big chunky ones, higher launching, then they need to bring the lofts down to make sure you don't just lose distance by hitting it too high. It's that trade-off. These are lower launching irons in theory with where the heads are designed, so a little bit more truer lofts will just push the ball up so you get the same distance. And the distance from this iron is very good. I could so easily game this iron. I would just worry in those longer irons, which is a decision you need to make on the ball, just dropping back on distances if I miss the centre. You can see from the 5 iron, obviously at the centre pretty consistently on all 3 of those shots because only 1 yard difference in the distance. And this is where the confusion for me lies for some people on workability and distance control. I would argue for my style of striking, where I do use lower parts of the face, I lose distance control when I go to this iron. I need as friendly as I can get, because when I hit it out the bottom and it just drops way back, which it can do in some of these irons, that's then sacrificing my distance control, where a cavity back will send it further more consistently. That's what I feel, and that's why I use that iron. But for lots of people who are hitting the middle a lot, this is going to be a good looking, good feeling iron for you to use. If you buy into that speed pocket in that longer iron, I've tried testing it. You can't properly test without a robot, to be honest. You need to hit so many balls. People out there saying they're testing it, they're not testing anything unless they're monitoring where strike is. I haven't seen any videos where anyone's measuring where strike is. They're just hitting them, oh, that felt like the low toe and what have you. It's a very hard one to actually measure and see any difference in data on that. You'd really need a robot, in my opinion. But look, 2 good performing 8 iron and 5 irons there in the Mark Crossfield TaylorMade irons. TaylorMade love me saying that. In the MC, let me know what you think. Post comments down below. Love to hear, and we'll speak to you soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching. Hello, Mark Crossfield here. In my hands today, TaylorMade Tour Preferred MC irons. These irons have my initials on, the Mark Crossfield. I didn't know TaylorMade were now dedicating their irons to me. So this is MC muscle cavity, I think it's actually standing for, but it's not. It's Mark Crossfield, really. Go into your shop and say, have you got those TaylorMade Mark Crossfield irons? Let's give the Tour Preferred MC irons a hit. Speed pockets, Tour Preferred shapes, la-di-da-di-da. Let's check these out. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, TaylorMade Tour Preferred Mark Crossfield irons, MC irons. We've got speed pockets, as we see in the slightly chunkier version of these. So from the long irons, 3 iron, I think, down to 7 iron. 8 iron here has no pocket. We have a tiny little kind of drop back cavity. Again, in the longer irons, going more into muscle completely on the shorter irons. We get thin, nice, classic top lines next to